Okay, so we're going to power the phone down by pushing and holding down this power button. And you should get the sign, and you just slide it over. And so now the power is turned off. Okay, so here's the phone here. We're going to go towards the bottom, and you're going to find these two screws. And these are called pentalobe screws or Torx, whichever you prefer, but as you see, there's multiple points on this screwdriver. And so we're going to make sure that it's in fact going in here and not stripping it. And very carefully, we're going to remove both of these. And we have a magnetic dish that we're going to set them in because they're very small and we don't want to lose them. Okay, so once you get that tiny screw out, you can put it in this magnetic tray. You want to make sure you don't lose these or mix them up with the other screws that will be taken out. The screwdriver has a magnetic tip on it, so that helps, but we'll just keep those separated. Just as a side note, also make sure you don't get the magnetic tray near your screen. And so now we're going to take our suction cup here and we're going to put it towards the bottom where it has a good suction on it. And you want to be careful here. You don't want to just yank up with it or it can crack your screen. We're going to just lift it up enough just to move up, and then we're going to have to pry along the edges here. So with that in place, we're going to go ahead and gently pry this apart. Once you get one side up, you can grab another one and kind of work on the other side. You'll hear it kind of break like a little seal. That's fine. But I'd probably try to keep it even on each side too. So don't move on too far on one side. Okay. Now this part you want to be very careful with because it's still attached at the top with a connection. So you'll set the phone down and gently lift it up, and you'll see this ribbon and everything going in here. So now we're at the top of the phone here, and we're going to take out these 5 screws. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That one over here stays. So we're going to go ahead. Now we've switched to our other screwdriver that has the regular 4 points on it. And we're going to go ahead and take each of these little screws out and keep them separated as well. Now take a pair of tweezers and just remove that little plate and set it aside. And now we're going to undo these ribbons here and here. Next we're going to take off these 2 ribbon cables. So we have our pry tool here. We're just going to come in underneath it and very gently pry up on it and twist it back and forth like that. So I just kind of went right and left like that to kind of twist, and it popped straight up. And so there's another one here. There we go. Okay, now there's another one right here. I'm gonna pop that up. So as you can see, we just twisted side to side to lift it straight up. And finally, there's a 4th one right here. Same thing. Nice, easy twisting. And so that's how we remove the screen. Now we're gonna be bringing our screen back in. And so we're gonna go from the lowest connector as they each come down. And so we're going to do our first one here, just line it up very gently, just kind of hover it over its spot, and then as you push down on it you'll feel if it's going in correctly or not. Okay, then we're going to move to the one right in front of it. And the final one in front of that. And finally this one off to the front side. Okay. Okay, so we're going to put this cover back into place. Okay, we're not tightening these down all the way yet. And the tiniest baby screw goes over in this top corner because it's really good, just going into the head of another screw. There we go. And there is one that's longer than all the rest. Okay, so the longest one goes in this top right corner. Okay, so let's go through and make sure that they're all snug. So as you're closing this back up, pay attention up here. There's two, they're kind of like hinges, but they just need to hook into the top. And then it comes downward. Okay, and from there you can push going this way, the opposite of how we removed it. We're just gonna push it back into place. And we're gonna push our power button. Now, if one of the ribbons is not connected right, you'll have lines through everything, so you just want to take it apart again and reconnect those ribbons. So when you've confirmed that it powers on and the screen looks good, nothing's been broken, we'll just put our two screws in, back here in the very front. Okay, so we're going to drop our pentalobe, screws back in the front here. Okay. One and two. Once again, don't be too tight on these, just get them into where you feel they pretty much stop. Just go back and forth a few times on each side. And move your plunger here. And you're done.